Shalom, giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakadash, and double honors to the apostle, bishops, and brothers on Dung and the Great Millstone. Salutations to the Ophir elect. This is your brother I by Yamnan, here to share another lesson. And the title for this lesson is Just One Foot in the Door, Lord willing, it be edifying unto the elect. Now, as you see in the image there, there's a guy with one foot in the door, and usually whether you see a movie or a cartoon, that usually takes place when someone opens a door slightly to see who has rung the doorbell, to see who is at the door. But usually, if there's unwanted advances, something that the house owner or whatever doesn't like, right, they would shut the door. They would try to shut the door, at the person, right? And in order to prevent the homeowner from shutting the door, the person would stick his foot in the door, right? And then, use his strength to push the door wide open. So him putting his foot in the door is a form of gradualism, right? When you look at the lack of morals in society, I remember when going to primary school, for youngsters age 5 and up, the principal of the school at the time, they would have us say the Lord's Prayer every morning. Big assembly, the whole school would have to say the Lord's Prayer. And every Friday we would have religious instruction, where a pastor, deacon, of a church would, come to minister, to the students and stuff. Every year it was going off because it was Christianity, but the morals and stuff in society was different back then. So what they did do, you had a small group of people complain about saying the Lord's Prayer. So the school board at the time stopped the whole thing, right? So that was one form of gradualism. So now that the Lord's Prayer was removed, they replaced it with carnal activities, plays, dancing, where the girls would dance on young men, So that was a foot in the door, right? That was, a form of, spirituality, morals and ethics. There was once brotherhood, and relations, proper relations between, our men and women and men with men, not in a happy way, but they looked out for one another. They looked out for each other, family. So what does Esau do? Create competition, right, in the black community, where everybody looking out for themselves. Here it is, you would have, you'd be living next to someone for 10, 15, 20 years, and you would never see inside their living room, compared to 25, 30 years ago, right? There was more of a togetherness. So what do you see today as a result? You have single motherhood, right? You have a lack of empathy. Even scripture say, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many, shall wax cold. So it was always, gradualism that Esau used, a foot in the door. That's why you're seeing the decay, the moral decay, the spiritual decay that's happening in society. And right now, I just want to hit the money before I visit a portion of scripture, because it is not going to be a long lesson. So with the money, you had something what was good. Gold, the Lord's money, right? Gold and silver. What did they do? They said that the gold weighed too much, so in order to carry your money around with you, they would print the paper money, which was a form of gradualism, certificates that was backed by gold. And then after that, they take the gold that was backing the paper certificates, right? Then you had the Federal Reserve note, more gradualism, another foot in the door, right? Then you had the debit or credit card without the chip, another foot in the door. Then the chip made its way in the card, another foot in the door. You had the paper checks, another foot in the door. And now you have palm payments, another foot in the door. Retinal scans, another foot in the door. So now the door would be pushed wide open with the MOTB. But by then, it's too late, right? Because the house is now breached, is now broken into. So remember, the door had to be opened first. And then the enemy would have to make unwanted advancements. So you recognize unwanted advancements, so you try to shut the door in the enemy's face, but he stuck a foot in the door, whereby he was able to push the door open wide with his strength, his policies, his immoral behaviors. So this is the only scripture that I'm going to share. I have my sword with me because I want you all to see that image that is on the screen. So this is the book of Matthew, chapter 3, and verse 27. It says, "No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he first bind a strong man, and then he will spoil his house." Right? So his house is wide open. There's no protection. Right? There's no door. There's no covering. Right? So same thing, you know what I mean? With a strong man, you gotta take the man out in order to deceive the woman. And that could only happen when there's no structure, no moral structure, no spiritual structure in society. That is where we are right now. This is why every generation is off. You have the elderly, which should be teaching the young ones how to be proper young women, proper young men. But the elderly, especially the women, they're trying to compete with the young women, the women in their teenage years, the women in their early 20s. You have these old dry women trying to compete, with young women. And you have old men still acting like, little boys, you know what I'm saying? Then you have the young people coming up, 14, 15 years old, carjackings, robberies, ATM stealings. You have the young women. They are whores in the streets, right? They don't care about their little children. So the old and the young generation, is gone. You know what I'm saying? So the strong man has been binded. That is why you're seeing the decay in society right now. So I just wanted to share that. Yahushua, is our strong man, but he cannot be binded. He is coming to put an end to Esau's trickery. He is coming to kick that foot. He is coming to kick that foot in the door and slam the door in the enemy's face. So Lord willing, this quick lesson was edifying unto the elect, and until the next time, shalom.